ばお前が先に行け。
Yo, what's up guys, Toby from the Master Box Show, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we will be showcasing another support character, particularly a DPS support, more of a battle support that's gonna be dishing out amazing damage as well as helping our allies by healing them whenever they're needed. A DPS support that can bring amazing utility by mass producing potions and enabling the team by providing as much elixirs, bombs, coatings, or potions the team needs for your chaotic enjoyment. If you're into a build that's both a DPS and the support, utilizing the powerful throw mechanics in Baldur's Gate 3, this build is for you. I'm talking about the revised version of the Throw Barbarian and my version of the Battle Chemist. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, here we are now guys in a character creation screen. This is where we will be building the foundation of our Battle Chemist. For today, we are eyeing on two really interesting races for the build, which is the Elf and the Half-Elf. For the two races, they have basically the same race features from base racial speed of 9 meters, dark vision up to Fey ancestry. The only difference is that for the Half-Elf, we get Civil Militia, which gives us weapon proficiencies in spears, spikes, halberds, and glaives, and armor proficiencies in light armor and shields. As for the Elf, it gives us elven weapon training that's gonna be giving us proficiencies in longsword, short bow, and longbow. I highly advise you go for the Half-Elf because we are eyeing on weapon proficiencies on spears because we are gonna be using a lot of spears in this playthrough. For the sub race, I highly advise you go with the Wood Half-Elf. For the classes, we are going to be starting with our foundation class, which is the Barbarian. That's going to be unlocking our action Rage, which gives us the opportunity to deal 2 extra damage with melee, improvised weapons, and throwing weapons for 10 turns, as well as class features of Unarmored Defense. Unarmored Defense is going to be using our Constitution modifier to be added to our armor class for as long as we are not wearing any armor. For the background, there are 2 interesting backgrounds for the build, starting from the Folk Hero, which will give us skills in animal handling and survival, and the Soldier, which will give us athletics and intimidation skills. I highly advise you just go for the Soldier because athletics and intimidation is a pretty useful skill to have. For the abilities, there are only 3 important abilities for this build, which is the Strength, Dexterity, and Constitution. Strength is going to be affecting our strength checks as well as our damage from our melee weapons. For Dexterity, it's going to be affecting our initiative and as well as our Dexterity saving throws. And finally, for Constitution, it's going to be affecting our Unarmored Defense as well as our Constitution check. After character creation, we are jumping into level 2 of our Barbarian, which will unlock our class feature, Danger Sense, and Reckless Attack. Coming into level 3, we are now unlocking our subclass feature, which is gonna be the foundation class of this build in the form of the Berserker. The Berserker will give us the action Frenzy, which basically turn us into Rage and give us the opportunity to use Frenzied Strike and Enraged Throw. One of the most important spell or class action for the build, whenever we try to pick up or throw an item, it will deal additional damage and knock our opponent prone. Level 4, we are now going to be unlocking a new class to the mix, in the form of the wizard. The wizard is gonna be giving us the second most important subclass that we need to develop our battle chemist. For this level, you're gonna be unlocking cantrips and spells. For the cantrips, I highly advise you just take a few cantrips that are really important, such as True Strike, maybe Blade Ward for this build. For the spells, the most important spell that we need for any sort of caster build, which is the shield. And we are going to be adding a few transmutation spells that are really good. Now for level 5, we just unlock our subclass feature in our wizard tree, which will bring our chemist to life in the form of selecting our subclass, which is transmutation. Transmutation is a really interesting subclass because it will unlock the subclass feature such as Transmutation Savant, which will decrease the gold required for us to learn a transmutation spell. But the most important skill for this build is the experimental alchemy. We can actually brew up to 2 alchemical solutions instead of 1, and we combine extracts if we succeed a DC 15 medicine check. For the spells, depending on your preference, I highly advise for this build, you take any transmutation spell such as Featherfall. Coming into level 6, after unlocking our subclass feature, which is the transmutation, we are now going back to our barbarian class for us to unlock our really interesting feat for this level, which is the Tavern Brawler. The Tavern Brawler is really good because when we do an unarmed attack, use an improvised weapon or throw something, it will include our strength modifier and add it twice to the damage and attack rolls. For this build, we are gonna be focusing a lot of our strength for it to have really good synergy to the Tavern Brawler. Coming into level 7, which is level 5 of our barbarian, we just unlock our class feature extra attack and fast movement, which will increase our move speed up to 3 meters for as long as we are not wearing any armor. Jumping into level 8, which is level 6 of our barbarian, we are now stopping our progress in this class because we are introducing another class to the mix, which is the rogue. The rogue is going to be unlocking another subclass feature that we need to make this build the proper battle chemist. Coming into level 9, which is level 2 of our rogue, we just unlock our class feature, which is Cunning Action, Hide, Dash, and Disengage. Now for level 10, still focusing on our thief class because we are unlocking our new subclass feature that is very important for the build in the form of the thief. The thief is going to be giving us fast hands, which gives us additional bonus action as well as second story work, which will give us proficiencies against falling damage. For level 11, that's going to be really interesting for us because we are now going back to our wizard class. We are eyeing on a few spells that are really interesting for the build in the form of the growth or enlarge and reduce and the skill Misty Step. And finally, level 12. We are still gonna be focusing on our wizard class because we just unlocked our feat. We are now eyeing on the alert feat, which will give us 5 bonus for our initiative and can't be surprised. The reason for this is for our battle chemist to always be first in the initiatives whenever we are doing battle. For the spells, we're just selecting a few transmutation spells that are really powerful for the build, which is the knock and maybe the arcane lock. For the cantrips, depending on your preference, I'll just go with light or maybe minor illusion. I'm gonna be showing you guys how interesting our chemist can be, especially when we have the chance to create not only 1 but 2 potions whenever we are crafting these items. There are a number of really interesting potion, elixir, grenades, and coatings throughout Baldur's Gate 3. Starting with the potion, which is generally the most important thing, is the potion of healing. It may be the potion of healing greater, or maybe just a regular potion, or maybe just a potion of speed. These items in general are really useful, especially if you're playing in tactician mode. With the use of our battle chemist, we don't need a dedicated healing character that much because we will just utilize the power of our crafting and our creation making. For the elixirs, there are a number of really powerful elixirs that we can use, especially the elixir elixir of the Colossus and the elixir of viciousness, and not to mention the really useful grenades, which is the Alchemist Fire or maybe the Heartlight Bomb. These items are really powerful, especially if you clump them together and make a nuclear weapon out of them using a backpack. Now we will be trying to craft a potion of healing, and we will utilize our wizard skill tree, particularly on our subclass feature, the transmutation skill tree, that will give us a chance to not only make one potion but 2 potions whenever we are crafting them. Now we're going to be crafting a potion. As you see on your lower right, we just succeeded at a medical check and we just made additional 2 potions of healing. Not only that, we can increase the number of elixirs for us to use in our party. As you can see, we just succeeded a medicine check and we just made an additional elixir of viciousness. So now we have around 2 additional elixir of viciousness that we can use. Now I'm going to be showing you guys the item setup for the build. I'm going to be showcasing 2 item setups for today. That's going to be for the lower levels and the end game levels. For the early game, I highly advise just 4 items for this build. You can get pretty much on Act 1. We're going to be starting off with the Lifebringer. This will give you the passive Life Charger. When the wearer gains lightning charges, they also gain 3 temporary hit points. The second one is the Protective Sparks Wall. You will get the Sparks Wall armor passive that will give you +1 bonus to your AC and saving throws as long as they have lightning charges. For the third one is the Speedy Light Feet. When the wearer dashes or takes a similar action during combat, they gain 3 lightning charges. And finally is the Sparks Wall. That's going to be giving us the passive Sparks Wall blocker. The wearer can't be electrocuted. For this setup, whenever you try to start a battle, you just need to start off with a dash. That's going to be activating the Speedy Light Feet. That will give you 3 lightning charges. And it will activate the Sparks Wall armor. That's going to be giving you 3 AC for as long as that lightning charges is still there. And finally activating the Life Charger passive. That'll give you around 9 temporary hit points. And finally guys, there are 3 items that are really interesting for the build on the late game around early Act 3. You can actually access most of the 3 items here pretty early in Act 3, starting with the Horns of the Berserker. That's going to be giving us the Seeking Blood passive. You will gain +2 bonus to your attack rolls when we are attacking creatures that have already taken damage, and as well as the Bloodthirst. Whenever we do an unarmed or melee attack, we'll deal an extra 2 necrotic damage for as long as we don't have full health. Next up is the Bone Spike Garb. You will be getting the passive Slabjaw Determination that will give you 15 temporary hit points whenever you are in range, and the Exoskeletal Endurance will reduce all of the incoming damage by 2. When the wearer is struck by a melee attack, it will return damage to the enemy. And finally, the Flawed Helldust Glove, which will give you the Lesser Infernal Touch. Your weapon attack will deal additional 1 to 4 damage. Now it's time for us to talk about the weapons that we need for our Battle Chemist. We're just going to be starting with the Act 3 weapon, which is the legendary Nirulna weapon. You can find this really early around Act 3. This will give you the passive Zephyr Connection. This weapon will return to your hand when it's thrown, and you can't be forced to drop this trident. When the weapon is thrown, it creates an explosion dealing 3 to 12 thunder damage in a 6-meter radius. But for the early game, you will be needing the Returning Javelin. That's gonna be found pretty early in Act 1. You can just beeline your character to the Goblin Camp and purchase this item there. Now I'm going to be showing you guys some active gameplay on how we properly utilize our Battle Chemist. Whenever we are starting a battle, we need to activate the Horns of the Berserker. So we just need one of our allies to attack us with an unarmed attack, even for just 1 HP. Now we just got damage. We are now activating our Horn of the Berserker or Helmet of the Berserker. We now have an additional +D1 for necrotic damage. Now we're just going to be starting a fight with our Battle Chemist. As you see, we have already characters or allies that needs healing. So as for this turn, we will be starting our battle with Frenzy. This will give us the opportunity to use Enraged Throw, but for this case, we will just start throwing some healing potions to our allies. So we're just gonna be throwing maybe this greater healing potion. Now we just healed our ally. We can also include healing them again with the use of any potion that we have. I'll just top him off, just a potion of healing. Now we just healed him 4+4. Now we're gonna be starting to attack using our Enraged Throw. We just got a hit, and now we will be ending our turn. We will be starting off attacking with Red Ambusher ranged. Just got a crit. We just continue attacking. And continue attacking. Now she's dead. Now it's time for our Battle Chemist to do some actions. We will start using with Reckless Throw. Start off with Reckless Throw. The enemy just got prone, and we can reposition wherever we want. Now we will do Reckless Throw again. And another throw to finish off the enemy. We just saw that our ally is almost dead, but we will just keep on attacking anyway. Now we have party members that needs healing, so we will be throwing a greater healing potion to that character. Now we just healed him for 13. Now we can have a chance to attack another set of enemies with our throw abilities, but we will be using Reckless Throw. We will be using another Reckless Throw. We just dispatched those characters there. Now they're dead. Again, we will be using another throw abilities just to heal our comrade. We just healed him for 8. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy watching the build and how powerful this Battle Chemist can be. It's a utility beast and can help your comrades in dishing out disgusting amount of damage. If ever you have any questions or clarifications, please comment down below. And if you guys like the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. It really lets me know guys that you are enjoying this sort of videos. I hope I earn a subscription in the future, but if I earn it today, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. And that's it for me. And I hope to see you soon on the next Master Box Show. Peace out. Bye guys.